Did I really put this garbage in my deck?
Hey everyone, it's mekklord, still on Banlist day. Because I have to plan several videos in advance, and this is going to be one of them. So noids have been hit pretty harshly by the banlist that was just released, which will go in effect on April 27th. Basically, Void Feast, the card that you see here right before your very eyes, is going to be limited to, which means you're only going to be able to play one Void Banishment alongside one Void Feast at most. And it's basically your deck is going to look like this, which don't think is particularly good, particularly interesting. And if your game plan is to resolve Void Feast as soon as possible, that's probably not going to happen very often. So, I've been thinking kind of quickly about like some alternatives, some stuff that could be done to make sure that Noids is still playable, because I kind of like Infernoids a lot, really like them. I don't know if that was the secret for anyone, but I'm a huge Infernoid fan, so I thought about a couple of like ways we could deck build to keep playing Noids, and here's the first one I came up with, right? So you cut Banishment, you play only 2 Void Feast, then you play this field spell, Void Expansion. And what Void Expansion does is, it's not particularly great during standby phases. It makes a token, which I guess is more useful now that we have Link monsters and stuff. Definitely could cut a card in the extra deck here for Link Karibo. That's basically a card that you're going to be able to access pretty much every turn, but that's only during your standby phases. So. Also, to special summon any Infernoid monster, you can banish Infernoid monsters you control instead of those in the graveyard or any combination of both. So if we are, let's say, stuck with a Decatron that is level 11 or 12 due to its effect, we can get rid of it now, which is pretty cool, I guess. Or does it work this way? I'm not actually sure. I might be talking over my ass. And last but not least, your opponent cannot target Infernoid monsters you control for attacks or with card effects, except for the highest level Infernoid, which I guess is some protection that could be relevant in some like very niche scenarios. So, this is what this first deck list would look like. You know, pretty simple. I'm not gonna take it into rank because I get completely slaughtered, like I'd be a huge disadvantage. I'm not gonna pretend like this is better than pre-nerf Noids. But if we take a look at sample draws, I think like there's a pretty decent chance, like, you know, this is a hand that resolves a Void Feast going first. And going second, it sets Void Feast and hope to not get MSTs. Just what Infernoids have always been. This hand can set up a Void Expansion as well as Decatron sending, I don't know. What could Decatron be sending? Probably, definitely Deviati, because we already drew the Ananku. This hand does nothing. It's just Decatron send Deviati pass. This hand can also resolve Void Feast. This hand can Monster Gate and hopefully make something decent happen. This hand, oh, this hand is cracked actually. Holy shit. This hand is really good. Like, not even kidding, this hand is really good. And this one is less good. It's definitely like hands that are less good than what they were before, but if your objective is still to flip Void Feast ASAP, I reckon this is probably the best Void Trap you could be playing. Like, looking at other Void Spell Trap, this is not even an Infernoid card. Like, what is there? Into the Void? I guess could be decent. I guess it's a decent card, right? But there are very few scenarios in which you'd be holding on to this for Beast, right? I don't know. I have the Void, an actual Infernoid support cards. Again, very few scenarios in which you're going to like have a monster to summon for this card. Void Cauldron is an absolute joke. Void Launch is not the worst card out there. But again, it's an effect that occurs only during our standby phases. And as far as it's basically just fodder for the Void Feast. Although I guess we could make something else happen with it, but that will also require additional setup and protection, because yeah, I don't know, I'm not convinced. And the Void Purification, which is actually kind of decent too. It gets back Noid monsters from your graveyard in case you want to recycle your Decatrons. And during your standby phases, you can also get back banished Noid monsters. And of course, there's Void Trapple, but Void Trapple is probably best. Although I guess you could use Void Trapple, set the Void Trapple, and when you flip it, also chain the Void Feast, which is an application that could be happening. But still, Void Expansion, until we get Imagination, which I don't think we're getting anytime soon, is probably our best bet. So that's one way of looking at Noids, and the other way of looking at Noids is basically as a deck that can be supplemented with a Lightsworn engine. Kind of similar to what I showcased in my old video guide for the deck that was like very poorly built, all things considered. I had like too many of the low level ones that don't do anything in grave, only one Deviati, and way too many cards. But this is a more thought of version, using a bunch of Lightsworn cards as synchro engines. Lilac can still be used to get rid of back row, and a decent like synchro pool. I guess we don't really need Linkuribo in this version, because I considered like adding Glow Up Bulb and Vermilion, but that just like cramped the extra deck even more than it already was. So I don't know. Yeah, I think this could be decent. Like if you want to consider what this baby can do. This is a hand that doesn't do anything actually. That's kind of disappointing. Actually, no, that's not true. I guess you can make a level 8 synchro turn 1, but that's not really like interesting for anyone. Going second though, oh, immediately becomes better. Oh my god, that's actually really good. It's actually one of those hands you can Lilas set up and potentially get good meals. Ride and pass. Ride and pass. Yeah, this deck is really dependent on a bidding charge. But I guess that's, yeah, it's another way you could be playing Noids. I guess there are a couple of more self-mill cards you could be playing. I guess, wait, it would be weird to not be playing Volcanic Wall of all things, which is basically just send 3 and relinquish your battle phase, which I guess is decent sometimes, especially when going first. So if we do that, actually, yeah, no, that's a potentially pretty banger hand, right? I don't know. It just seems like it could work just a little bit well enough. I don't know. Maybe I'm just coping. Maybe I'm just hoping. You tell me. What I know for sure is that I'm definitely going to try to keep playing Noids after the Banlist goes live. It's probably going to be this version, if anything. I guess I could probably use like some hand traps, Battling Box of Veil. We can't play Kytrate for obvious reasons. Yeah, no. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but I like to think that I'm maybe onto something here. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments of this video. If you'd like to see me try and build Noids after the Banlist goes live, it'd be my extreme pleasure. And in the meantime, well, take care of yourselves, everyone. And I'll see you guys and gals and non-binary pals next time.